Now we're working. Hey everybody, hope you guys are all having a good time today for round 2 here. Hey Nicholas, happy to see you back again for the next round. Today we're not going to be having such a long secondary stream here because I want to get some sleep here later on tonight. And Loki's over here all excited because he thinks he's going to get treats after I just woke him up by yelling into the microphone. But basically, what I wanted to cover here today is just some technicals now that we finally had that move. I was guessing within the next 24 hours. It looks like it happened a lot sooner than that as far as that big move coming down. So there are some effects of what we've seen happening with the Justice Department going after Binance, CZ getting out on bail, and all types of stuff going on. Excuse me. So, Loki's over here wanting a treat, but basically, that's what we're going to be talking about. Some Bitcoin technicals, watch your guru stuff, some of the news going on, and then a CNBC article talking about, I guess, CZ said some stuff when he got out. We'll kind of see what's going on here, okay? So let's hop right in. I'm going to give Loki a treat very fast because he's begging for it very nicely, and I don't want to have to think about it here in the next few minutes. Alright, you get a small one since you already had a few treats earlier. Okay. There we go. All right. So, as far as Bitcoin's concerned, guys, we talked about that breakdown earlier off of this original trend line, which was the one that we've been using for quite a bit of time now, as you guys might imagine. But ever since we had that breakdown on the 1 hour chart, things were not looking as good. We retested it over here a while ago, the bounce. Then we came back down after the news conference as far as I want to say Jerome Powell, but it's not Jerome Powell. What's the guy's name? Merrick Garland, and the rest of his team had that conference. There was an order block around here that we were talking about. It didn't actually hit it, but it's coming close to the next one, kind of around here, around 35,500 or so. We're pretty much just trying to hold 36,000. I would not bet on us, actually holding that. As of this point right now, we're going to have another death cross as far as Bitcoin's concerned on the 4 hour chart. Daily chart, where that long candle comes in here. We talked about it before. I would say if you guys want to see Bitcoin go higher at this point, you really just need to see us close above that 20-day moving average. Otherwise, like I said before, we're most likely coming back down here towards $35,000, in which case you guys could be more likely to buy. I would just remind you guys, now that we're actually under the 20-day moving average and somewhat above the 50-day moving average, or above quite decently. Let me get rid of this, there you go. Get ready for that squeeze effect to come along here pretty soon. Bitcoin's either going to have a pretty nice pop back up to 40,000 to test out some of those levels, or more realistically here, if the Binance news doesn't get better anytime soon, we are going to be looking more at a larger move down towards $33,000, which is kind of maybe the consensus for it now. That'd mean we break down below the order block. We're looking for a breakdown below the moving averages, and on top of that, the death cross that brings us down lower. Hopefully that would only take us towards $33,000. I'm thinking that's the lowest we're probably going to see right now, unless for whatever reason we see more bad news coming out about Binance. And some of the news that we've seen so far, I wouldn't say it's been like terrible or crazy, but just this is what I was talking about earlier when I was talking about God, I'm tired right now. Sorry, I'm mixing it a lot more than normal. When we were talking about how there's going to be this big FUD campaign and you're going to see people pulling out lots of money, whenever the problem is not that people withdrew $1.3 billion in user funds. That's not the issue. The issue is what happens if at any point they're not able to meet the demand for people needing to withdraw their currencies off the platform. At this point, we have not seen that problem. So I'm thinking that Binance overall, and specifically BNB token, you're not going to see them go too crazy here. Although I probably wouldn't be holding them unless you wanted to try to hold something like more like BNB, I guess. You could. It's just going to be a little bit more of a risk. Probably a little bit more of a reward, because if things end up being okay, you'll see that squeeze effect happening quite a bit. Now, the other news here today is CEO CZ facing 18 months in prison as part of his plea deal with the United States government. That's actually not that long. Sam Bankman-Fried's about to go to jail for the rest of his life, maybe, unless politicians bail him out. But CZ doesn't really have to face that much time. 18 months prison time. That means that he can get out, in a year with good behavior, maybe even less. So nothing too crazy there. He keeps on being a big old millionaire and he goes on with his life, no problem. He's out on a $175 million bond right now. Let me see if I can find the law. There's a guarantor 1 and guarantor 2. That's interesting. 175 million personal recognized reconnaissance bond, maybe. 15 million held in DW trust account. Property pledged by FRP. No property must be posted as security with the court, but the owners must complete and sign it. Okay, that's fine. So basically, yeah, it's a lot of money for his bail, but he'll probably get it back once he goes back into court. No problems there. As far as everything here, it seems like everything's quieted down. Not seeing anything crazy. Binance has moved all the way down out of the top 20. It looks like it's pretty much over for the day. All the news. So basically, what you're looking at now, everybody, is a big downward move coming for Bitcoin. As sucky as that sounds, what you're hoping for here is if you want to see that narrative changed, all we have to do is get back above that 20-day moving average and close above it. Usually in those scenarios, we've been there before. We didn't necessarily close down below it, but we broke down below it quite a bit. The following day, we had the big slingshot. We're hoping for something of a larger slingshot, which means you guys should be waiting on that 15-minute chart. Not the best chart to be looking at right now because we did just have a dip here a few minutes ago, but more likely in the morning, if we continue to consolidate well enough, we should have an opportunity to move higher. I am not buying any trades at this point because I don't want to have to deal with all this potential news coming up, because without the news that we saw today, there might have been a good chance we actually managed to break out. Now that, now we'll never know, of course, but at this point, you're seeing another level of support kind of show itself up when it comes to Bitcoin. And now the order block kind of is there. It kind of shows it anyway, but that's our next support level. Let's see where we can go. The 4-hour chart's much more gloomy than I want it to be just because the 200's up here. We haven't really had to deal with the 200 in a while. Hopefully we can have some type of move like this last time with Bitcoin, where we came up close to it, we broke down below it, and then we still managed to have this big move. But usually these things are not happening at big levels of resistance, so we'll have to wait and see. All right. Now let's go back over here to the 15. Most altcoins, let me just go do this actually for you guys very fast. Most altcoins, like Dogecoin, you see them at levels of support, either moving averages or just, these order blocks here. That's oil. ADA, there we go. A lot of support levels. The 4-hour chart, maybe best if I go to the daily. ADA broke down below the 20. XRP, APE, AVAX. You've seen a lot of stuff take a little bit of a breather after they fell like 10% plus. Look at BNB. BNB went right into the order block, and that's where you guys can buy it if you want to see the reversal. It's right there. Now, if you guys want to take it, just be careful. The 15-minute, this thing is still curling back down. You definitely want to see these higher lows hold, and then you could be more likely to buy it. But, yeah, this one's a little bit tricky. I might actually just wait for it to break above the 20 moving average on the 15-minute chart. But, overall, the market's not in a good spot. We'll go over to Bitcoin here and watch it bit by bit. But, yeah, things aren't looking too good. And hey, Mr. Tanker, happy to see you back, my man. Hope you're doing well. I only bought one MicroStrategy put for January. That's pretty far out, so that's actually not too bad of a plan, especially if we go down a lot more. You'll probably see a lot of those companies start to shave off some profits. The good thing for a lot of them, at least far as now, is, Bitcoin's only at 36,000. It's not like Bitcoin's falling off a cliff or anything like that. If we fall off a cliff, it'll probably be sometime this weekend, and it'll be sometime, well before January. I'm hoping all of this can be settled quickly. It seems like it will be, and we won't have to really worry about too much news. The only big mine that we have to deal with now, of course, is what happens if Binance has some type of liquidity issue. At this point, I don't think we've heard anything of the sort. I know a lot of you guys have been asking me, should you guys be holding assets on the Binance exchange? My answer is always, from now on until the end of time, going to be no. I would not hold any money in there. at this point, I just don't want to see you guys lose it, especially if the Binance withdrawals get more FUD, because there will be an attempt to spread a lot of FUD and get people really freaked out. And the government did a good enough job convincing everybody that they should not be, donating their, putting their cryptocurrencies at Binance after today's press conference. Now, there's a CNBC article that I was just looking at a few minutes ago. There was some breaking news. I should probably tell this to you guys. Israeli government votes to approve hostage release deal. It's going to be interesting to see how this works. I don't know if Hamas is going to literally just start blowing rockets again, but keep an eye out for that. Not really my concern right now, but just keep an eye out for it. So CZ speaks out after pleading guilty to criminal charges, names Richard Tang as new Binance CEO. So that'll be interesting to see how all that works out. There we go. He says this: "Today I stepped down as the CEO of Binance. Admittedly, it was not easy to let go emotionally, but I know it's the right thing to do. I made mistakes and I must take responsibility. This is best for our community, for Binance, and for myself. Binance is no longer a baby, and it's time for me to let it walk and run. I know Binance will continue to grow and excel with the deep bench it has." Let's see. "I am pleased to announce that Richard Tang, our now former global head of regional markets, has been named the new CEO of Binance today." That's what he looks like right here. Seems like a nice guy. We'll see if he knew anything about it, but again, we'll have to wait and see. Richard is a highly qualified leader, and with over 3 decades of financial services and regulatory experience, he will navigate the company through its next period of growth. He will ensure Binance delivers on our next phase of security, transparency, compliance, and growth. Prior to joining Binance, okay, I don't care about Richard. As a shareholder and former CEO with historic knowledge at our company, I remain available to the team to consult as needed, consistent with the framework set out in our U.S. agency resolutions. What is next for me? I will take a break first. I have not had a single day of real phone-off break for the last 6.5 years. After that, my current thinking is I will probably do some passive investing, being a minority token shareholder in startups in areas of blockchain, Web3, DeFi, AI, and biotech. I am happy that I will finally have more time spending looking at DeFi. I can't see myself being a CEO driving a startup again. I am content being one-shot lucky entrepreneur. Should there be listeners, I may be open to being a coach, mentor, to a small number of upcoming entrepreneurs privately. Oh, okay. If for nothing else, I can at least tell them what not to do. On that note, I'm proud to point out that in our resolutions with the U.S. agencies, they do not allege that Binance misappropriated any user funds. That's big. Does not allege that Binance engaged in any market manipulation. Funds are SAFU. With that, I look forward to seeing the new leadership take the reins. Please join me in congratulating Richard on this well-deserved promotion. Onward, CZ. So, it could have been a lot worse. It's not as bad as you would think, but still, you would not want to have your money on Binance at this point in time as they're kind of facing this mini crisis, or this big crisis. What am I saying? I'll be looking to see what he posts more about over the next few days. He did say he's like, oh, not him, but he could go up to jail for up to 18 months. Jesus, he could go to jail for up to 18 months. I'm so tired. I'm going to actually try to slow down a little bit on purpose as I speed up as I talk now, and see if I take a breath before every sentence what happens. So basically the gist here is we're seeing CZ go on to his next chapter in his life. He still could do jail time. We'll see what happens next. The government is going to have full oversight over Binance in the future. He really tries to make people comfortable with Richard as the new CEO. And on top of that, he really focuses on trying to convince you that the funds are safe, because although the United States said they did this and this and this, which is basically just, help terrorists move money around, they did not misappropriate any funds, and they didn't break any of the major rules that FTX broke. I think that's just the thing. He's trying to say FTX is apples and oranges without even mentioning FTX, because in part he was one of the reasons that FTX went down. But yeah, so again, going to be interesting with that going forward. If you guys have any questions about anything, let me know. I know this is a pretty wild day. I know a lot of your stop loss is probably hit, but this is going to be one of those times where it's best to be patient, because we did just break down. We did have a nasty day below that 20-day moving average. And now to kind of wrap it all up, what you're really hoping for is we can manage to have a sizable move back on the top side here and breaking back above this moving average, which is currently at 36,244. We're at 36,071. So we're pretty darn close to it. You guys can see that from the chart here. We're just trying to get back up, which is going to take some muscle, which again is the reason why if you want to buy into this at this point, after we've had this pretty nice drop, I'm probably going to wait until maybe we break above the 20 moving average on the 15-minute chart for a day trade, or until we start getting back down here into the lower 35,000s. Right now we're kind of settling at $36,000. I'd want to be buying in personally somewhere between 35,000 and 35,500. I think that's the sweet spot for me if you're looking for something more of a reversal. Day traders, you can buy a little bit earlier than that, but if you want to do maybe a multi-day swing, you're probably going to be waiting a little bit longer as we kind of see how the market kind of reacts to all this, because this was just the first day of getting rejected / news bringing us down. We may in fact see more bad news coming up over the next few days. Hopefully we don't see many more lawsuits beyond the lawsuit we just saw yesterday when it comes to Kraken, because Kraken's a pretty good company if you ask me. I don't really know much about them, but usually they're known as the boring ones that do all the right work. You know, they follow the rules. So I hope things will get better for them, but I know there's going to be a lot of chaos, especially as this news kind of again like digests itself and works its way into the market. The United States market's going to be closed here pretty soon with all this Thanksgiving stuff coming up. I'm picking up my sister tomorrow at a train station, like I told you guys before. I'm wondering what Bitcoin's going to be doing without, the stock market going back and forth as well. The stock market did okay today. It's like down like 0.5%, nothing crazy. I think the only thing that drew some concern here, I did not listen to the earnings call myself because I was sleeping. Nvidia had a pretty nasty drop post hours off of the news, and it came back up, but then it kind of slid back down. That drop, let's just go from end of hours. That drop was a 6.5% drop. And this kind of just, I want to remind you guys how fast these things can drop. And so don't pretend like anything is safe in this current market environment, because everything is pretty much a bubble, and everybody's terrified to see what happens. At this, like, what was that drop down to? 468. That drop post market went all the way down here. All right. So just don't be surprised again over the next few months if earnings start to get a little bit more sour. A lot of our favorite tech companies that have been making us money, maybe on some longer term holds, they are definitely going to be costing you some money if things don't get better. All right. But Nvidia is growing. They're just having some issues, I guess, in some other fields when it comes to China and things like that. 15-minute chart should be fine for now. And hey, Puma, happy to see you again, my man. No worries. Nothing, dude. After the stream we had earlier today, I pretty much just chilled out. I took Loki outside. Took him to the bathroom. Walked and got the mail, and then relaxed for a little bit. I've been tired lately. I don't know why, but I think I'm just not getting enough REM sleep. I'll have to. Hopefully, I can get some sleep over the Thanksgiving break. But now that I have to deal with my family, I'm just gonna be like, ugh. I'm taking my sister out for dinner tomorrow. That'll be nice. We'll go into some classy restaurant, which will be very nice. Get myself another old fashioned. Load up some more USDC, then it's all, unless you're one of those that sells at a loss to get you some Black Friday spending money. I haven't done Black Friday shopping in a few years now. I normally just, I don't know. I don't like going out into stores too much. Cyber Monday, I feel like I take more part in. I will go out and I'll buy some stuff every now and again. But I feel like we have a lot of big sale events in the United States now, like Prime Day and things like that. Well, I don't necessarily have to worry about trying to get that good price. And honestly, I don't really buy many big things. When I buy a big purchase, like a big TV or something like that, I don't have to worry about it for a while, because a nice TV will last you a good amount of time. Like the TV over there, That cost me like $3,500, like $4,000 ish with like taxes and watching out, kind of crazy. Entertainment system set up and all that type of stuff. But you know, I don't really use it too much, but it's been there year after year. The last thing I bought, maybe on a Black Friday sale, is probably going to be something like clothes. So maybe I'll look at a DXL Black Friday. Oh, I don't know how to. This is Groupon. Oh, there it goes. Maybe they'll have Black Friday sales. I don't know. 40% off for clearance isn't really a sale, but I'll see if they have anything there. You know, big boy clothes, but I don't know. I've been looking for a what do you call it? Overcoat. I'm probably gonna buy this overcoat right. I think this one right here. Some of these clothes I don't like. Yeah, this one. That overcoat's probably gonna be nice. Or this one might be okay. Except for I'm not wearing a hoodie underneath it. I need a black one. So yeah. Sorry to go off on Black Friday tangent here, but I'm trying to slow down my brain a little bit. I've been really hyperactive the last few days, and I need to like tune it down a little bit. But yeah, so you know, day traders, you'll have an opportunity to buy some Bitcoin right now. Swing traders, you can buy Bitcoin right now if you want to. I'm going to see if we get down to like $35,500. If we do, that's probably where I'll be more salivating to buy up some cryptocurrency, something more of a shorter term pop. My big fear here is, though, since we did break down below that 20, we'll just start to continue to go down more and more and more as the weeks go on. Not necessarily just like tomorrow or the day after, but as the weeks go on here, as these trends are all of a sudden, now we're seeing more confirmations as those downward moves are coming in. Let's see. And hey, Michael, the best time to buy is during the dump. I definitely agree with you there. As long as you guys, well, I guess if you're long-term investing, right? I ended up swapping my BNB for a stablecoin. Thank God I did. Yeah, right now, like as far as BNB is concerned, it's definitely at a lower point than a lot of other tokens just because of what we saw with the news. You can definitely see how people did not take it too well. You might see a shorter term surge here, but you don't really... It's just more stressful than it needs to be to actually get into BNB, if that makes sense. I know we talked before the big event actually happened, but as far as Bitcoin, I would say. But yeah, I'm not really willing to hold much tokens from BNB at this point. I know they'll probably be okay as far as Binance is concerned, but you know, it just does not seem like a place where you want to be anywhere invested. I think you could probably try to day trade it. You know, you could day trade or swing trade BNB with leverage on another exchange. It doesn't have to be Binance, and I think that's what people are probably going to be doing. Just like when we saw Luna go down, and those are always people that want to trade this stuff, always. And I would still say that if you want to trade it, have fun with it. You just got to be responsible and do your best to not have it on the actual Binance exchange. Now, the good thing is Binance, again, isn't being accused of doing anything wrong with consumer funds. But even so, the terrorist aspects of it, all that type of stuff, yada, 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 that we heard about earlier today, that's going to drive a lot of people out. And we'll see what happens with Binance over the next few months. Hopefully, they can find some way to survive, because I don't want them to crash, because if they crash, so many people are going to lose a lot of money, and that's not something we want. If they find a way to close it down nicely, that'd be okay, but you know, there's no very peaceful way for an exchange to go down. What's it here? Hey Hercules, it's 4 a.m. South Africa. Just woke up, and what happened with Binance? I would tell you to go over to X and then scroll down through Watcher Guru's post over the last few days. Basically, you know, Binance said they were settling with the SEC, or not, they were settling with the government for $4.1 billion, which they're going to pay, I think, over the next year and a half or something like that. Then right after that was announced, the government said they were charging Binance with violating 3 big laws. The first one was money laundering laws. The other one was some type of act, some type of act. I forget what it was. And the other one, it doesn't matter too much. You can read about it. And then after that, CZ appeared in Seattle today, close to where I am, and he pled guilty to money laundering, basically. And he's might go up to jail for prison fed, club fed for 18 months or so. I think that's the max sentence he can get. And then from there, I think he might not even get jail time at this point. I don't know. And then from there, he'll probably, like we talked about before, do his philanthropic work, and then try to be a mentor and things like that. I mean, heck, the guy has a lot of knowledge. I would love to pick his brain about what he thinks about this market. Probably wouldn't take business advice for him, but just like understanding the world of crypto, the guy probably has a lot of fucking stories I'd love to hear. But yeah, just not a good time. We've seen over $1 billion in capital being removed from Binance. Although the way that Watcher Guru actually discussed that, I'm not entirely sure if he was being specific about the time frame of when the outflow started. So if I go over here very fast, $1.3 billion in user funds withdrawn from Binance following the U.S. government indictment. I would assume that's the indictment from earlier today and not the other indictment as far as the case that they're currently paying the $4.1 billion on or something like that. So I would expect this is just the money that came out today. Binance is massive. I don't think it will fail necessarily unless other countries go after it and they tear it apart piece by piece by piece. You as a crypto holder do not want Binance to go down, primarily because the majority of the charts that we all look at on a lot of different platforms, all of the data is actually coming from Binance. So imagine not being able to look at like half the charts you normally would be on TradingView because it's on Binance, and maybe they don't have not everything is on KuCoin, not everything is on BitGet or something like that, Fairdesk, OKX, whatever. CZ didn't defraud anyone, not like the Sam Bankman-Fried guy. Yeah, that's the apples and oranges we were talking about before. Totally different things. He did break the law, but not the same law, which is why, again, he's only looking at about 18 months in prison max, while you're seeing somebody like a Sam Bankman-Fried, he's looking at something more of a year, like over 150 years or something like that. I don't know when the sentencing hearing for, let's see. I don't know. So he has to appear in court February 23rd, 2024. That's a couple months away at least. It's 3 months away, actually. Wow. And then remember, Sam Bankman-Fried, he isn't getting his sentencing hearing until I think it was March 24th or something similar to that. So yeah, when he goes over there, he's just gonna have to deal with a few things. Maybe go to Club Fed for a year, maybe a year and a half, probably not even that long, honestly. And then from there, he'll be out doing his stuff. He still has a lot of money. Even with whatever fine they give him personally, he's still walking with a bunch of money, and he'll get a lot of fees for guiding people on their startups. He'll get cuts of those startups, a lot of cuts. So if just one of them does well, he already has like another $1 billion right there. If it does well. But yeah, I would still say Sam Bankman-Fried is much more of an evil villain type of person. CZ is kind of that asshole who did something illegal, knew about it, but he kind of didn't cross that big line. Maybe, terrorism, that's nothing bad, but defrauding investors, that's an American thing. You don't do that. Let's see. Thoughts on Coinbase stock? Hey, I mean, they're still dealing with their own problems when it comes to the SEC and what's going on there. Those lawsuits. I would say that Coinbase, because of the way they're acting right now and the way I think they're going to do fine as far as these court cases are in the future, I don't think of Coinbase as much as like from week to week trading. I think of Coinbase as something I'd probably want to hold on to for a very long time. Just because America has problems figuring out what our laws are going to be, most of the world is not, and I think you're looking at a lot of stability around the world as far as what their laws are going to be. America, the stability really isn't there because our judicial system is kind of a mess. Our executive decision branch is kind of a mess, and our legislative branch is fucking really a mess right now. Of course, you guys all know that. But when I look at stuff like Coinbase and their stock, you can see today they weren't enjoying anything here in the in the morning. Now, this is Bitcoin going down a little bit. This is not the CZ situation. The CC situation happened 12:30 right here. So you show the dip and the pump, and then not much else happened. Go over here to the monthly chart. It's still doing fine, just like Bitcoin is. Even now at $105, maybe it'll come back down lower. This is still a play for a very long time, and I still like it for a very long-term play, because I think there's only going to be so many exchanges that make it to that level where they can be trusted by the government, and I think this is going to be one of them. Gary Gensler is kind of just a loose cannon right now, and he really doesn't know what he's doing, or he knows what he's doing, but he just isn't smart about it. So I would still say that Coinbase is a good long-term hold. Short-term, just get ready for more volatility, and we're kind of used to that now. You saw the move coming on the after-hours market. It definitely come down a little bit over the next few days. If Bitcoin does fill that, does come back down towards $35,000, that's where you're gonna see a good opportunity to maybe buy up some more Coinbase if you wanted to take that approach. And hey, Tony, I've been okay. A little bit tired right now, but things are working out. Short term, looking to buy some Bitcoin here at these levels, have a quick day trade. Then after that, kind of just be patient and watch the news a little bit here. I'm a little bit concerned about where crypto goes over the next few weeks, just because we're starting to break down here and show some weakness. I'm hoping that Bitcoin can kind of correct sometime by the end of this week. And then from there, we're looking at going up higher and higher and higher. Hopefully, again, back up towards 40,000 bucks, which is just up here. Not like it's a crazy amount further. For us, that's like $4,000. And, a few days ago, we were up to 37. So like $2,500 pretty much. So we're getting closer. This next few weeks are just going to be very important, because once we start having these lagging indicators starting to have confirmation, like through the death crosses and things like that, you're going to see people freak out a lot more. Like we were just talking about some of the divergences that we were looking at as far as Bitcoin, with those bearish divergences happening. Now we're starting to kind of fill in those divergences. I hope we don't end up doing that, but again, with this news, we're not really looking at the most positive of things. Let's go over here very fast. Just show you the weekly chart. Don't worry about the line on here. But you can definitely see how we're teetering just a tad. Nothing crazy. We've been here before, but these big drops freak people out. And as long as we're on this overall upward trend, I still think we're in a good spot. Now, if you ask me, I don't even know which one, the best one to be using right now. Because, can we go to the monthly chart? Will that give us anything better? No. I guess for now, we'll use this. Basically, we're still in a nice uptrend. $30,000, I don't think we're coming back down to it anytime soon. That would have to be some type of very brash crash or something like that. But maybe over the next few weeks or something, or months, I should say months, maybe we come back over here, consolidate before another larger move. We've done it before, but we've had such a strong breakout that I think without this Binance news would have actually continued on higher and higher. But since we have this Binance news, it's killing the momentum. Maybe we just start coming back down here towards $35,000 or so, consolidate. We'll see if we manage to break down below this high, because then what'll basically happen is, since we're still kind of in this bullish move, it'll just trickle down, then a breakout. But during these times, of course, cryptocurrency gets very, very boring, as you guys might imagine. We had 6 weeks of nothing happening that much in cryptocurrency. Then we had the crash, and then we had about 105 days before we had that next big surge. 105 days, that's quite a bit. On this side over here, we had about 8 weeks, 2 months before we had that big surge back up here. So hopefully we can still continue to move higher, but don't be surprised if we stagnate a little bit. We really get excited about these moments, and we often forget how boring cryptocurrency can be for week after week after week. The reason that you guys are going to be excited is this volatility that's going to be coming, regardless if we manage to break out or come back down. The volatility is going to be on your side when it comes to altcoins. Not necessarily Bitcoin, of course, but altcoins are where it's going to be at. You go over here to an ADA. This one looks like it's tipping back over now on the weekly chart, of course. 4-hour chart, you're seeing it hit different levels of support. If ADA starts breaking down below this, then all of a sudden ADA is coming back down here towards 32 cents. Again, doesn't seem crazy from 36, but that's still like a 13% drop. That's a beautiful opportunity for you guys to load up on some long terms, or at least figure out some other trading strategies on the breakout after we hit some of those support levels. Oh shit. I accidentally pushed a button here that organizes all of my things. So now I gotta reorganize this down the road. Oh shit. I honestly hate doing that so much because it takes like an hour to fix it. I wish they could. What can I do? There was a back button right here. I didn't see that before. It's over here. There's a back button. Awesome. Okay. Thank God. That scared the shit out of me. Who is the next domino after Kraken? I mean, there's always a number of different exchanges out there. I guess if you want to go after one, it would be crypto.com. If you're following that type of system, because, you know, I work with exchanges right now, like BTTC. I've worked with BitGit. There's Fairdesk right now. You know, there's ZoomX. I mean, there's a lot of exchanges out there. They don't seem to be going after the exchanges like BitGit all too much, even though BitGit did leave the United States. They're not really messing with them too much as far as lawsuit. They seem to be going after the ones like Coinbase, which are more established companies. Like, you know, Coinbase is an English company. It's not like it's English, you know, it's from Great Britain. So I would say crypto.com is probably your next bet. I don't exactly know what's going to happen with FTX. That's really another concern here. FTX is trying to come back up. How does, like, Gary Gensler said that FTX could come back. How does he say that knowing that they're going to allow all the stuff that they said that Coinbase isn't allowed to trade? And so we're just seeing a bunch of weird things happen right now. And, you know, from the outside looking in, it's like, it looks like a lot of corruption and, like, you know, backroom deals that happen in DC. And when, I mean, that's just what it feels like to me. But again, crypto.com probably going to be a next big bet there. And let's say you want to see more news, Mariel, before we have a dip. You're probably just going to have to rely on the momentum. I don't know if there's going to be more news over the next few days. The only big news I think we're waiting on this week is not even crypto related. It's all AI related. I was going to be making a video for you guys here today talking about what was it going to be? Oh, Chat GPT and how to use it to fine tune your indicators and things like that. But I'm going to make a series about, you know, MACDs, RSIs, things like that. And that'll be a whole series for you guys. And I think you guys will like it a lot. But not today. I'm freaking beat. I'll probably end up making it tomorrow after I pick up my sister from Oh, that's right. You know what? I just learned a half an hour ago that I am not picking up my sister. My grandfather is picking up my sister. So I will actually have an opportunity tomorrow to make that video. As long as I wake up on time and all that type of stuff. But I don't have any problem with that. I think I might just take Loki to the beach in the morning, then afterwards make some videos and content. But yeah, I'll run some polls and see what you guys want me to talk about here as far as ChatGPT and how to use it when it comes to trading. Because I think the benefit for ChatGPT isn't like trying to create a full strategy, but just help you maximize the profits from your current strategy. Let's see. NA Tech, Coinbase is US. Did they move to the US? Coinbase is a decentralized. They have an office in San Francisco. If you asked us a year ago, the answer would have been San Francisco, yeah. Maybe just remote. I guess you could just say San Francisco for now, since they're trying to go with the remote aspect here. But yeah, you could say whatever you want. I guess they're trying not to say that they're American either, so that's fine. Let me see over here very fast. Shouldn't be too bad. Okay. 15-minute chart. There we go. Up to the 20 moving average. This is where most people would start to buy in here. What you're basically seeing is a change of character, although this change of character doesn't look too pretty. Can I pull this up, or is it going to actually show up here? Yeah, once this closes, you're going to see people go long. Again, this is more of a day trade, though. This is not something where you're holding for quite a bit of time. You already saw that MACD crossover over here about an hour ago on the 15-minute chart. Or the stochastic crossover, excuse me, a few hours ago as well, 4:30. So maybe the 5-minute shows you a little bit something else. Yeah, this is already showing the crossover has already occurred. A crossover happened here. Let's go to the hour chart. How we looking? Crossovers here. Okay on the stochastic, not okay on the MACD. So again, longer term chart still bearish. Shorter term chart still looking for some nice price action here. Let's go over to the 5-minute chart very quickly. Yeah, there was that change of character. I guess we just had to zoom in to find it. But really, it's not so much this one or this one. It's more of just breaking above here. Yeah, this is not something I'd be so excited to trade, but it'll be fun if you're desperate. Yeah. Let's see. Speaking of GBT, all in general, do you know a few AI related cryptos that would merit some research? I do not. I do not follow AI cryptos all too much. And, you know, I've tried to look for some over the last few months. Like, you know, you go to coinmarketcap.com and stuff like that. A lot of them say AI, but it's not really AI. And so I'm just not sure how to proceed with them. Like, having an AI in the name, it makes it sound cool to probably do good in the next bull run. But, you know, I would try to go into some discords and really just like hone in on what people are talking about. Maybe that's what I'll do here pretty soon, or even go over here to X and go with well, let me see if I can do this right here. Can I? It's not even letting me search. I mean, you see stuff here, AI crypto, but it doesn't seem all too important. Oh, wow. Best AI crypto? Let's just search for AI crypto. I don't see. I mean, this seems like somebody pumping something here, so don't listen to that. But yeah, I think if you just do some research and look around, you'll probably find something. People in the chat could probably help you out there as well, but I haven't found many true AI companies that are looking at cryptocurrency. And I think the reason here is for most of them, you know, like I said, I've been to a lot of meetings when it comes to venture capital funds and, you know, Silicon Valley Bank and Madrona, things like that, or companies like that. What they care about when it comes to investing into a startup is that the infrastructure is there, not necessarily the token. I think if it was a full-on bull market, you might see more companies looking to make their own tokens. But I think because right now venture capital doesn't require it, or you know, they don't really see it as maybe a big plus that maybe like that, you know, somebody else might. I think most new companies and startups are not making tokens in the Web3 space. We'll see if that changes up pretty soon. I kind of hope it does. But again, I would be more, you have to be really looking hard to see what's actually doing some AI work, not fake AI where it's just some program or something like that. You know, some dumbed down program, I should say, because it's all programs. But you get what I'm saying. All right, back over here to the 15. Oh, we didn't close above it. Oh, that's interesting. We managed to get pushed back down. And at God's FF, can we take a trade to buy? I mean, yeah, if you wanted to day trade Bitcoin, you could buy right now if you wanted to and see if it goes back up towards 36,400. I mean, it's a short scalping play at this point. As far as those longer trades, I'm not really looking for those all too much right now. Like here, I know I have another Fairdesk account where they gave me trial funds to play around with. I think this is it. Let's see. Is this it? Yeah. Yeah, because I was playing around with it earlier today, and I did a trade. Yeah, I closed a short right here. Opened a short, closed a short, and I opened the short today at 11. Oh Jesus! I opened the short last night, excuse me, and I closed it this morning around 10 o'clock. I don't know the exact time frames here, but basically, you know, let's say you want to do a scalp with Bitcoin. Did it not break above? I mean, we're close here. We're close. Let's just say for, well, how's the momentum going? 15, is it crossed over? Yeah, 15 is crossed over. Let's go for it here. This is something that'll probably take up to an hour and a half to really get you any good profit. But let's say we wanted to do a 50x play. We'll just leave it at the regular leverage, not in Bitcoin and margin. Let's say we wanted to toss in $1,000. Go long here. This isn't really fluctuating all too much, but I guess that's just me. Order submitted. We now have the position in here, and we can kind of just watch it closely. And then, you know, we'll come back to it. I can't really put this into my other tabs because it's a whole different window with a whole different account. But basically, it's a 50x trade. We're waiting for it to hit, what did I say before, 36,400 or something like that. That's really what you'd be looking for there. Probably not the best time to buy because we didn't break out above it, but you know, I'm banking on us breaking above it. That's why you'd be opening this trade right now. There we go. All right. Again, this is not something you necessarily be holding for multiple days, but at least for like another hour, 2 hours. Yeah, I think it'd be worth to have a little bit of fun. But this isn't something that like any trader I would say should do, because maybe somebody would freak out if, you know, some people freak out if you buy right here and Bitcoin comes down right there. I know it sounds stupid when you say it like that, but like people do freak out. Like right now, this position is now down $30, 3%. Am I complaining? No, but you get my point. People sometimes don't like it. They want to see the breakout because the breakout kind of continues the momentum going up. And right now we're looking at a very boring trade. We'll see if we can continue to make these higher highs. I'm hoping for higher highs, but then eventually I'm waiting for that larger pop. I guess that pop might come something like this, through something like this. 36,500. Me being me, I'm cheap. 36,400 would be perfect right up here. Let me just draw this line right there. There you go. I mean, that's all the profit I'd be looking for. I doubt it would even be a couple percent, if that at all. Yeah, 0.66%. Not many people are going to see me like to do that trade, which is why I said it's a 50x leverage play, because that's the only way you're going to be making any money off of it. Okay, there we go. Back up to the 15-minute chart. We'll see what happens. Again, you're looking to hold this for like max another hour to 2 hours. NAJDBD. Sounds like a cyberpunk name. 2024 is the year crypto. Guarantee there'll be 3 to 5 commercials on the Super Bowl Sunday for it. I would love to see that happen. I know the last ones didn't work out too well, but I'd be happy to I'd be happy to see some commercials like that. I'd be happy to repost them, actually. That'd be really fun. Let's see what Bitcoin does. I guess now we're seeing a little bit of a pop here. Little bit of a pop. Not really much. You go back to the 5, you can see it consolidating. Right now you see that the position is at $51. Stop loss. Well, we don't need a stop loss for this. What did I say? 36,400. This is lower liquidity. 36,380. That'd be a 28% profit or a profit of $286. Okay, you know, nothing crazy, but fine. And then you kind of just wait to see what happens. Usually, if you ask anybody here, I tend to sell too early. That's what I do. But I like to lock in my profits and spend my money on stuff that I like traveling, Vegas, taking family out to dinners, stuff like that. But yeah, so you can see we're trying to pump right now. I mean, we're trying, but again, bear with me here. It's not going to be as glamorous, I guess, as you may be thinking, to see a whole 0.6% gain. All right, there we go. How's everything else doing over here right now, though? Last 24 hours, there's still some things that are up. Not many, granted, like 3, 4 perhaps. Most stuff is down. Oh, PancakeSwap is down 14% in the last 24 hours. That's even with the small pump we've seen so far, but it looks like it's just because the last 30 days we had a really big pump here. BNB obviously down quite a bit. 13% Chili's on the 30-day, but down 8%. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so we're in an okay spot here, guys. What do you think about Arbitrum? I think it's fine right now. I wouldn't be buying it, but you know, again, like what you're looking at is more of a scalping opportunity for a lot of these different plays. This has been fixed. So let me see if I can find Arbitrum here on my list. There we go. See, it already had that breakout a while ago. Let's see. Oh. So you don't really have to worry about the 20 moving average on as much as like a Bitcoin chart per se. But let's see. Yeah, seeing some resistance up here at the 50. I would not be buying at this point at all. Let's go to the 2-hour chart. It looks like it wants to just make a lower high before continuing to move on. Kind of what Bitcoin's looking at right now. Dealing with that old level of resistance from over here. Kind of a larger level. Maybe if you wanted to see this thing get a little bit more bullish, you would have to close back above $1 pretty much. You know, 0.9997. But day trading wise, there still looks to be a little bit left in the tank. I would be a little bit more hesitant about that. Like you go over here, looking at the Bitcoin trade now. Now it's up to 82 bucks or so. Still pretty far away from our price target here. It'll probably go up, go down, then do a little thing. But that's pretty much what you're looking for at this point. But again, scalping, day trading, it's what I'm preferably looking at right now. Not so much those larger moves. We have a little bit of consolidation. We're trying to surge up. Well, we just broke 100 bucks profit on that one trade. I don't know. That's enough to buy you a couple hamburgers, right? In this economy. I was with a friend a few weeks ago, and I bought us a couple hamburgers from Uber Eats, and like 2 hamburger meals and delivery cost like 75 bucks. It's insane. So don't do DoorDash or whatever, all that type of stuff. Just go in and get it yourself. If you want to, if you can afford it, go for it. But oh my gosh. See, and hey Rodrigo, happy to see you back, man. I was going to do a small buy on Fairdesk, but it says insufficient balance. I definitely have enough in my available funds. I wonder if it's just I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. I've never seen that happen before to me, so maybe it could just be with the amount you're looking to trade with leverage, perhaps. I don't know. If you let me know more about it, I could probably let my contact know and they could help you. Usually when you guys have issues, if you guys like send me a screenshot or something on like Telegram or something like that, I can try to pass it along, and then they have a much better understanding of what's going on. It's easier than trying to go through a support line or something like that. How low do you think Solana will dip in this climate? Solana's pumped up a lot, so it could definitely come down a lot. In fact, it came down quite a bit today. What was it? What was the drop today? Yeah, it came down 8% since the highs over here. It's down about 21%. So basically what's about to happen here, if Bitcoin continues to have this next leg down, you'll see Solana come back down here towards the low 40s, which means we'll just kind of skip 47, 40, we'll skip a lot of stuff over here. Let me see if I can find a Fibonacci level. Let's go. Ooh, let's just say the trend started right here. That'll make it a little bit easier. All right, you got a little bit of support right around here on $49.51. That could be an opportunity. And in reality, I'd be expecting it to come back down here towards 40. let me do a quick thing here, and let's change this up. There we go. You also got 48.98. Then you got this one right here, 42.61. That could be one. That might be something you might be looking for instead. But me, I'm just more pessimistic on everything right now. Back to the 5. Oh, we're going up a little bit more. It's just taking a few minutes. This scalp position that we just took was up 130. Now it's down to 121. Now it's down to 114. Now it's down to 110. So we're giving up some gains here, but I guess it's still up $100. And if I were to hit, quick close, it might net me like $80 profit or something like that. Again, that's where you have your profit loss. This is where you might be moving up your stop loss maybe to 36,200 or so. But again, for now, I don't care if I take a loss. I don't really mess with this money too much. If I ever need it, I guess I could take it out, but I don't need it. A sole short 200x. Okay, I would be very careful about shorting with that much leverage, but if you have a strong stop loss, I suppose you could do so. But honestly, like, it's rare that I would say you really need to have those that large of a leverage when it comes to shorting, because all it takes is some good news with a spot ETF being approved tomorrow, and all of a sudden Bitcoin's up 2,000 points, 3,000 points. We see altcoins jumping up 15-20%, and that's all it would take. Is that going to happen tomorrow? Most likely not, especially because we're heading into a holiday weekend here. But just saying, it could be really, really bad here, really bad. All right, coming back over here. I don't know. We're about $162. Maybe I should have invested more money into this, but yeah, I definitely should have invested more money. I don't invest more money because it was a 50x leverage play, and I knew it was a scalp. And usually, when you think about high leverage when it comes to scalping, you're usually paying quite a bit in fees. But I wanted you guys to see the thought process behind the trade, not so much the profit behind the trade. I would say that's usually more important than the amount of money. But again, maybe you guys don't like to do 50x leverage plays, and I totally understand that. Not a lot of people are going to like that type of stuff. But these types of quick scalps, if I would have invested my normal $5,000 or something like that, which I would never do with an account size of only $5,000. What you normally see is you making about $1,000 profit, or let's just say you make, like, let's say this trade goes through, and within talking with you guys for maybe about a half an hour or so, I pull in $200, something close to it. Well, then you could say, well, then for at $200, 200 divided by 9-hour workday, I made like a 22-hour workday in like a half an hour. That's the beauty of trading and scalping. But if I lose money, then I'm also losing money. So you got to be consistent about it, which is the very difficult part when it comes to trading. NARW, happy to see you back, my man. I think overall this is good for the market, flushing out the bad characters and getting regulatory clarity. See, I don't think we got regulatory clarity, though. I think he just broke laws. Like, he just broke flat out well-known established laws. My regulatory clarity isn't about money laundering and what CZ and Binance did about, allowing bad actors to use their exchange. My big thing is, like, what is a security according to the rules and when it comes to crypto, and what is not a security? We just don't know what it is yet. And the SEC doesn't know, so they're guessing. And then when they're told no, that's not it by the government, they try to guess again and again and again and again and again, and it just drives me freaking nuts. We're up $175 or 17%. We'll see if it actually hits that take profit mark right here. But so far we're doing okay. Maybe we'll get up to $200 here in a couple seconds. $200. Can we go pop it up? I'm just a very impatient person, which is why I normally make my trade and leave, so I don't have to worry about it, because we bought the trade right here. I think it was right here. Yeah, because then it went down negative, and then it kept on going back up. I don't know why I choose to buy it here. A lot of people would buy it here on the drop back down, but I feel like I just want to be in the trade, and I don't want to miss it, because sometimes that dip doesn't happen, and so when you miss it, you just want to catch up. But then by the time you catch up, then maybe something goes wrong, and then, you're hitting some type of resistance like this right here. And you're like, we got rejected by it. I lost money. Boo-hoo. Whereas if you buy right here, you can kind of give a little more wiggle room, especially on a scalping play. Okay. Hey, Michael Beefy. Not sure what that is. Hey, Bay Area Drifter. Hope you're doing well. I just transferred all my crypto from Binance to Coinbase. Is Coinbase safe? Yeah, I mean, Coinbase is having a lawsuit when it went to with the SEC as well, but from what we understand, there's no criminal investigation. There's nothing criminal with Coinbase. It's all civil cases, which means it's a lot safer. We haven't heard any alleges of, misappropriations of funds, which has been the big bad devil creature in all of this, these affairs that we've seen over the past few years. So yeah, Coinbase is definitely a safer place to put your money for sure. I know they have a lot of platforms there and such. And then, but yeah, definitely a safer place than Binance right now, especially because Binance is just kind of going through a crisis. We'll see what happens with this crisis in a while, but yeah, it's just nobody wants to be in Coinbase at this point. Excuse me. All right, let me move this over here very fast. But we're seeing most altcoins right now. I know you guys can't see it on the side of my screen, but most altcoins are positive now. Still down compared to like where we saw them yesterday, but over the last couple hours, we've seen them rebound quite a bit, which has been nice to check out a little bit. Should I remove all my crypto from Binance and transfer to other place? And hey, Tony, do I think Binance US is doomed? Yeah, I think they're going to have to wind down their operations as far as Binance US because of what they did. Now, Binance, the corporation, like the large dog, they'll probably be fine in the long run. There's just a lot of chaos surrounding them right now. So I wouldn't be holding any money in Binance at this point. It's all up to you to decide what you do with your money. I'm not going to tell you specifically like, hey, move your money out of Binance. I'm just saying if it was my money on Binance, because of everything swirling around it, I definitely would not be having money in there right now. Maybe things will change in the future with more regulatory oversight and things like that. They go through a vetting process. I might change my mind. I'd be more willing to change my mind when it comes to Binance than I would be with FTX, for example. At least Binance is not misappropriating funds. I think that's a big thing I keep on referring to. But at the same time, do you really want to have your money in there right now as people are fudding it? There's going to be more FUD around Binance in the future. Probably don't want to be in there right now. If things calm down, quiet down a little bit, I think you're going to see more people try to flood back into Binance because it is the top exchange right now. You just don't want to be there in case something bad does occur, right? You just don't want to be in that situation. You don't want to be stuck. Like we saw what was the example I gave you guys earlier. I think it was BitBoy, Ben Armstrong. He lost over $1 million in Celsius when it went down. Nobody thought Celsius was going to go down, apparently. Nobody thought FTX was going to go down, apparently. But the rumors start and news ends up going bad. Here we are. But long run, I think it'll do fine. Specifically, also, they don't have to pay that $4.1 billion fee. They get to make it in payments, which makes it a lot easier for them to scrounge together the funds and end up pay the government in order to, right their wrongs, so to speak. Robinhood, I'm not really a fan of Robinhood because I don't think they have good charting software. I think they have one of the worst charting softwares out there. But it's probably an okay place to put your money. I've heard a lot of horror stories with it, but again, I'm just not entirely sure if that's the best place for your money right now. I think Robinhood is better for those who just want a long-term hold and not do trading. I'm much more of a trader. Again, a lot of the cases that are being brought around cryptocurrency, most of them are civil cases. A few of them, like this one with Binance, it's a criminal case, or FTX a criminal case. But even within those criminal cases, there's different levels of good versus good and bad here. Austria, I can't pronounce that one. Let's see. I can do a quick check on it here. AstraZeneca, crypto. It's on KuCoin. It's hovering around a local support level here, still in a general uptrend. I wouldn't get too concerned about this unless it starts to break down. This is normally going to be something of more of a buying opportunity. It had a smaller breakout, it looks like, actually, last week or so. didn't really take off much more than that, I guess, because of this larger order block, really large order block. Your stop loss right now, if you're going to be buying in, is going to be around 0.0039. Let's go back over here a little bit. Hit that level of resistance. Wow, you might get a price target up towards a penny though over the next few weeks if Bitcoin can manage to hold on here. 2 hour. Not really that crazy here. Yeah, you're getting closer to accumulation zones and you're kind of waiting for a larger move. Just watch out for that overall trend line. If that thing starts to break, then you know you're heading down into another low. Bitcoin coming back down a little bit. This is where the hour hold comes back on. Okay, but looks like everybody's questions got answered. See, it's weird. Like, I'm about to head off here, and I'll be back live tomorrow. Don't worry, guys. I'll be here to help you guys out as needed. I have to figure out a way to get. There's 104 of you guys watching. I have to figure out a way to get at least one of you guys to talk every minute, because that's the only way YouTube actually pushes out the content and stuff like that. But right now, guys, we're doing fine. As far as that trade is concerned on the scalp, it's up like $141. I'm just going to do a quick close of it because I'm heading off. A small profit, not a crazy profit, nothing insane there. But those scalps can be pretty fun if you guys know what you're doing, especially if you're not like me and you actually like let it hold and reach your target. I'll be live tomorrow, probably once, unless there's something more of a crash event, in which case I'll be live. The only way I won't be live is if it's like really early morning and I just don't know because I'm sleeping or something like that. Keep an eye on the markets tomorrow as we try to deal with this 20-day moving average. If we close below the 20-day moving average again today, I expect us to start heading back down towards $35,000. We'll see if things get a little bit better, but just keep an eye out on that 20-day moving average and some of the news that comes out again with Binance, okay? Thanks, everybody, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow.